अस्त्युत्तरस्यां दिशि देवतात्मा हिमालयो नाम नगाधिराजः पूर्वापरौ तोयनिधिवगाह्य स्थितः पृथिव्या इव मानदण्डः. So we finished with the fourth sarga and we have to start with the fifth sarga. तथा समक्षं दहता मनोभवं पिनाकिना भग्नमनोरथा सति निनिन्दरूपं हृदयेन पार्वती प्रियेषु सौभाग्यफला हि चारुता. This whole sarga, first it starts with the description of Parvati's tapas, the incidents leading to Parvati tapas, and then the description of Parvati's tapas. Then you have Parameshwara who comes there to test her sthiratvam. With her decision, Manoratham. And then there is a conversation between Parameshwara and Parvati. Then he accepts her or she accepts him, and then they go back. Because she says, you'll have to go and ask my father for my hand. Proper, it should go according to rules. So that's how this sarga ends. So we go back to the end of third sarga here. As a context, see, we took a diversion in fourth sarga to talk about Rati's Vilapa there. So the fifth sarga now connects with the third end. Tatha samaksham dahata manobhavam pinakina bhagna manoratha sati. Bhagna manoratha sati Parvati. Parvati, whose manoratha, whose desires were completely bhagna, destroyed. When she saw Tatha dahata manobhavam pinakina manobhavam dahata pinakina bhagna manoratha sati. So her desires, her manoratham was completely bhagnam, it was completely destroyed by Parameshwara, Pinaki, who had burnt Manmatha, dahata manobhavam, tatha samaksham, in that manner in front of her. So and the tathangartha, it goes to that third sarga end where we have to think about how the whole thing came about, where she gave the mala to him, and as he was accepting, he looked at Parvati. Then at that point, he immediately retracted his indriyas and burnt Manmatha. So it all happened within a few seconds. So tatha, in that manner, when Manmatha was destroyed, when Manmatha was burnt by Pinaki, Shiva. So Shivena eva tatra bhagna manoratha sati. Her desires were, because Shiva clearly said that, I don't want this kind of an aberration in my mind right now, is what he said. So Pinakina eva, sayeva karanam tatra tasyaha manorathasya bhagnasya karanam, right? So nininda rupam Hridayena Parvati. What was the result of that? She decided her Rupam was not the best method to attain Parameshwara. Rupam Nininda. She, Hridayena, with her manas inside herself, she did not think highly about her own saundaryam. She was Rupa Lavanyetu Ambayaha eva tatra prasiddhi vartate. And she herself is saying, my beauty is of no use here. Iti nininda. She abused herself. Not abused, அது எப்படி கோச்சுக்கிறதுன்னு சொல்றது இல்லையா? அந்த மாதிரி she was feeling a little angry about her own beauty because she tried to attract him with that. And that was of no use. Charuta, this is an Arthantranyasa here, where he says, Charuta Priyeshu Saubhagya Phala Charuta. Generally, Charuta, beauty, has its result, phalam, in the form of Saubhagyam. Saubhagyam with respect to Priya, with respect to their beloved. So if their husbands look at that beauty and they are able to feel, oh, I'm mama saubhagyam yat etadrishi patni labdha iti. So if they are able to think in that manner, then the beauty which is there in the wife has its result, has seen its result. So priyeshu priya vishaye saubhagya phala hi charuta. Charuta, beauty, is something which has its result in the form of saubhagyam or subhagata, wherein he feels fortunate. Yeah. When we read the Vyakhyanam, it is a little clearer. You can go. Itham kamadahana prasanga agatam rati pralapa vrittam upasamhritya. having concluded the Rati Pralapa, which had started because of the Kamadahana Prasanga, because of the context of Kamadahanam, Rati Vilapam had started, and so we had the fourth Sarga filled with that lament. Adhikarikam Vrittam. Adhikarikam here is Adhikaraha would mean the main plot. So Adhikarikam Vrittam eva swa avasare avatarayitum. At the correct opportune moment, he wants to bring in that main plot here, because it is the correct time to bring in that main plot. So this fifth sarga has been started. Panchamas sargaha ayam arabhyate. Tatra kamadahananantaram pitra griham prapita devi kim akarot. When her father had taken her, pitra griham prapita, sa griham nagatavati. So she was taken to the house by her father. It was a very beautiful description at the end of third sarga. So Kamadahananantaram pitra griham prapita devi kim akarotu. What was she doing at that? Because she wanted to ask permission to go to do tapas, right? Iti akankshayaam aha. So manobhavam tata samaksham dahata pinakina bhagna manoratha sati parvati hridayena rupam nininda. This is your anvaya. Tatha shabdaha rati pralapa vrittanta kathana vichinnam kamadahana prakaram katha anusandhanartham paramrishati. The word tatha is being used here. Paramrishati, it's being used here to bring in the katha anusandhanartham, for us to remember the katha, the flow of the story which happened before, which is Kamadahana Prakaram. The format of Kamadahanam, which happened at the end of third sarga, is being reminded for us with the word tatha. That Kamadahana story there was an interlude for it, Vichinnam Abhavat. That is, it was obstructed by the story of Rati Pralapa in between. So Rati Pralapa Vrittanta Kathana Vichinnam Kamadahana Prakaram. That is now Katha Anusandhanartham. In order to bring back that Katha, he is using Tatha Samaksham.
So when he says Param Rishati, you are taking the meaning of Smarayati.
Yes. Paramarshaha nale, it is something that you have seen Anubhav Purvakam Yatra Purvam Asit. You are concluding, you are making a idudane. Yatra yatra vannihi tatra tatra. Adudane paramarshaha.
Sopanam for Anumanam.
So repeat it.
Anumana sopanatla 5 panchavakyam, panchavaya vakyam irukilla. So adula you have paramarshaha is the vyapti janyam jnanam paramarshaha. Vyapti tu yatra yatra dhumaha tatra vannihi iti. So it is a form of thing that you have in the mind. It is not something that is direct. Anubhavastu tatra mahanase yadi vayam bagnim pashyamaha tarhi satu anubhavaha. Then after seeing it many times, you have this format that wherever there is vanni, there is wherever there is dhuma, there is vanni. Iti vyaptihi. Vyapti janyam paramarshaha. So which means you say dhuma vad vanniman mahanasaha or something. There is a format that you do, yeah, and the madri.
In other words, it's the conclusion, no?
Conclusion kuda illa. It's a kind of smriti.
Okay.
It's a kind of, yes, it's a kind of conclusion which you base from anubhava.
Okay.
Smriti kuda illa, correct.
Okay, got it.
Samaksham iti dahana kriya visheshanam. So tatha samaksham, where does samaksha fit? It will go as a kriya visheshanam for dahanam. So kanmunnadi erichadu. So he burnt right in front of the eyes, and garche that in front of the eyes becomes the adjective for the burning. Adada. Atmanaha pratyaksham yatha bhavati tatha dahata pinakina. Anena manoratha bhangasya atyantikatvam suchitam. Atyantikatvam, see, when it happens not in front of your eyes, you won't believe it most of the times. If that sort of an incident had happened right in front of your eyes, then you believe the eternity of that kind of a situation. Right? It happened right in front of her eyes. Manmatha was burnt in front of her eyes. So it is as a result of that, manoratha bhangaha api atyantikaha. It indicated that her desire will not be fulfilled at all. Definitely. If someone said that, Shivena Tatra Manmataha Dagdhaha, if it is a hearsay, then there will not be a finality in her mind about her desire to attract him with her rupam. Because it happened in front of her eyes, it is even more enforcing that, you cannot achieve Parameshwara with your rupam. So Manoratha Bangasya Atyantikatvam Dahata Bhasmavasheshatam Eva Prapayata Anena Dahata, he brought him to ashes, right? So Dahanam tu tatra na kevalam burning, but completely reduced to ashes within a few seconds. Anena Daivavashat Punarapi Jivayishyati iti ashayaha api abhavaha uktaha. If there was at least a body, there can be a Sanjeevani mantram and all that too. Punarijjivanaya tatra asha prayaha bhavet. Atra tu bhasma eva vartate iti karana tatra natu jivishyati eva. There is no possibility of him coming alive at all. So bhagnaha bhangam prapitaha manorataha Hara Jayatva Praptyadi Lakshanaha Chitta Vritti Visheshaha. What is that Manoratham that he is talking about? Bhagna Manoratha Sati iti chet Tatra Kidrishaha Manoratha Tasyaha. So the desire that Parvati had was more in the format of attaining Shiva. Hara Jayatva Prapti, becoming his wife. Tadrisha Chitta Vritti Visheshaha Yasyaha. Her mind was, she wanted to be his wife. So Sati, Bhavanti Parvati, as she was thinking in this manner, Saundaryam Hridayena Nininda Manasa Ninindavati. Ninditavati. She did not openly say, what is the use of this body? What is the use of my beauty? Ityadikam to polambala. She did not complain openly about her state, but she was ulla marugardungrol. She was thinking about it inside. She did not vocalize her thoughts here. And the Vyakhyata has a beautiful take on that. He says, Ayam abhiprayaha purvantavat premna sharirardhaharam harasya iti narada vachananantaram Devyaha Purari Vishayaha Yaha Manorathaha Ankuritaha. The desire started sprouting when Narada said in the first Sarga itself that Premna, because of her love towards Shiva, she is going to occupy half of his body. Sharira Ardha Haram Harasya. Iti Narada Vanchananantaram. After hearing Narada's words, Devyaha Purari Vishayaha Manorathaha Ankuritaha. The desire for Purari, Shiva, started slowly sprouting there. Punascha, again what happened? Paricharyayam tat swarupadarsanena yaha sambardhitaha. She saw him and the love started growing after seeing his swarupam there. That swarup paricharyayam, when she was doing service to Shiva, paricharya yada sevam karoti sa tada tu tasyaha manasi yaha manoratha asit satu sambardhitaha. It was even further increased. Tadanantaram, after that, Umamukhe bimbapaladaroshte vyaparayamasa vilochanani. The moment Shiva looked at Parvati's lips, ityatra Yahava Pratyasanna Phalataya Kalpitaha. When that happened, that Manoratha which was there in the mind, it turned into a form of Pratyasanna Phalam. That is the Phalam, the result was something which was Samipe Eva Asita iti. Pratyasannamna very near. Pakkathula irukkakoodiya oru palanai kondadaga adu maarittru nu eduthukonum. So the Pratyasanna Phalataya Saha Manoratha Kalpitaha. It was first Ankuritam when Narada put in that bijam in her mind and it started sprouting. Then when she started serving him and she looked at his form, it started growing slowly. Tadanantaram, when she saw that reciprocation from him, when she realized that he also looked at her lips, that is when she realized, okay, the success is very close by. Pratyasanna phalam iti.
Samipe asti iti va?
Samipe eva phalam vartate iti bhavaha. Tad bhavataya or tad bhava karanat. Okay?
இது விபாவ தானே அந்த
ஆமா விபாவ அனுபாவ and then விபச்சாரி பாவ. So மூணுத்தையும் சொல்றாரு. விபாவங்கிறது it is just the first step of Parameshwara. I think பரிச்சர்யா ரூபே விபாவம் and then பரிச்சர்யா அந்த அங்க மாலாவை கொடுக்கிறது, all that would be your anubhavas, the gestures. Right? And then அங்க descriptionலயே பார்த்தோம் நம்ம, there were some kampanam, her hands were இது ஸ்வேதஹா அதெல்லாம் இருந்தது இல்லையா? So those were the வெபிச்சாரி bhavas that they saw. So it's just summarizing what happened. सः सर्वः अपि कामदहन दर्शनानन्तरं भग्नः. See, at that point she thought it would attain fruition, but tagalna adu odanjidtu. So imagine the amount of grief that must go on in that girl's mind, no? Ivlavu dooram, it's almost reached a peak where she said, okay, you know, this is probably the proper result is going to happen. And suddenly when Manmatha is being burnt,
anticlimax.
punascha kim anaya kanana chandrika kalpaya me rupa sampada iti nijameva rupam manasa ninditavati. So the moment she saw Manmatha being burnt, she thought her rupa sampat, it is like moonlight in a forest, which is of no use. Only when it is in a city and people are there enjoying it, then it has some phalam. Kanana chandrika iti chet, who is going to worry about that? Me rupa sampada kanana chandrika kalpaya. This is very similar to chandrika, moonlight in a kananam, in a forest. Iti nijameva rupam manasa ninditavati. She thought about her own rupam in that manner. It is of no use iti. Manasa nininda ityasya ayam arthaha. Because she is an udatta naika. This is a very different take by the commentator. We don't find udatta naika in Alankara Shastras. You will find 8 types of naika where she is, khandita naika, proshita bhartrika, adella papo. But you don't find udattatvam being attributed to naika, which is, I'm surprised. I need to check Sahitya Darpanam. That's the only place where it could be, possibly. Enakku nenavu therinja varaikkum it is not there. But here he takes on that point that even for naika, if you are talking, there is uttama naika, yes. But he doesn't give the character of udattatvam there. And the oru dhairyam, no? This thiratvam that you have, where you do not talk about it outside, you are keeping it all to yourself. Adu vande, it is a different take that he does here. Sthiraha nigudha ahankaraha dhirodattaha. A nayaka, when you describe the lakshanas for a nayaka, he is actually sthiraha, he is steadfast in his mind. Nigudha ahankaraha, even if he has an ahankara about himself, he covers it up, he talks about it only to himself. In Shakuntalam, when Dushyanta looks at Shakuntala in the first act, he says, Satam hi sandeha padeshu vastushu pramanam antahkarana pravrittayaha. See, that is a kind of veiled arrogance, in the sense, super confidence, overconfidence, that his antahkaranam itself is a pramanam for him to decide whether Shakuntala is approachable or not. Esha gamyava nava tapasakanya esha. Then that if she is tapasakanya, I am a kshatriya, then how can my mind even like her? It is not appropriate for me to like her or marry her. Then he comes to the conclusion, he says, no, see, because my mind has gone towards her, and it is a sandeha padam, the fact that my mind has gone there itself shows me that she is a gamya stri. I can approach her. She should be kshatriya in some way or the other. There is no obstacle for me to love her. He concludes. So it is a nigudha ahankara. In a way, it is an ahankara. Mind solradhu enakku. It's a kind of an ahankara that he's keeping it hidden. Yeah, that is atmagatam on the shlokamu. So nigudha ahankaraha dhirodattaha. This is the lakshanam for a dhirodatta. Iti udatta nayaka lakshanam udatta nayikayam api yojaniyam. அம்பாளுக்கு போடுறச்சே எல்லாம் போடலாம் என்ன பொறுத்தவரை. அதஹ தேவ்யாஹ உதாத்த நாயிகாத்வாத். Because we want to categorize her also as an udatta nayika. Rupa abhimanasya swataha nigudhataratvat. Rupa abhimanam tu bahihi sana vakti. Why would she say, oh, I am so beautiful, iti sa nayika na vadati eva. So Rupa Abhimanam, even though she has an Abhimanam with respect to her Rupam form, she will keep it as secret as possible. So Nigudha Taratvat Nindanam api manasa eva. Even if she wants to put down her beauty in her mind, she would only do it in her mind. She would not say it outside.
So by that argument, then somebody like Satyabhama would be Dhiro Datta.
Dhira Uddhata. Oh, அவளுக்கு வந்து ஒரு அந்த நடவுட பாவனையிலேயே she shows that she is very beautiful இல்லையா? Yeah. Definitely உத்ததான்னு எடுத்துக்கணும். ஆமா. அனயா ரூபநிந்தயா தேவஸ்ய அரூபஹாரியத்வம் பிரதிபாதிதம். ரூபேண அஹாரியத்வம் பிரதிபாதிதம். That's how the samasa should be. இல்லையா? Rupena aharyatvam. He cannot be attracted by beauty. Parameshwara cannot be attracted by beauty. So that is what is known by this. Nininda rupam miti. Atayeva vakshyati in the 53rd shloka. Arupaharyam madanasya nigrahat. Because he has controlled Manmatha himself, he would not be attracted by rupam. And rupam depends on the fact that Manmatha has a he conquers the mind. That is why you are attracted by the beauty, whereas Shiva has conquered Manmatha, so there is no possibility of he being attracted by beauty at all. So arupaharyam madanasya nigraha. Nindayam upapatti kathanena ninda prakarameva aha. The upapatti na or logic behind why she has to do rupa ninda. Charuta priyeshu saubhagyapalahi. Priyeshu iti vishaya saptami. Saubhagyam spruhaniyatvam. Spruhaniyatvam phalam yasyaha. That is to பிடிச்சிருக்குங்கிற ஒரு தன்மையில
desirability la
desirability. Correct. That is the result for the beauty. So charutayaha priya vishaya saubhagyam ekameva. Priyaha tam he will want her அப்படிங்கிற அந்த desirability கரெக்டா சொன்னேன். அதுதான் வந்து is the phalam for the beauty. Tad abhave, if that desirability is itself not there, because she saw in front of her eyes that he had killed that totally. He had killed that desire. So she is not attractive to him based on her form. Then why would she need the form? அதுதான். So tad abhave
some kind of there is one idu illa I forget because I'm not in touch with Sahitya. Karyakarana bhava.
காரியகாரண பாவேன அப்படி அந்த இது சொல்லலாம். அப்பிரஸ்துத பிரசம்சா வருவோம். அதுக்கு பதிலா இந்த இடத்துல வந்து this is more in terms of காரியகாரண பாவேன அர்த்தாந்தரநியாசகான்னு ஒண்ணு இருக்கு. சோ காரியகாரண நிபந்தனா அர்த்தாந்தரநியாசான்னு ஒண்ணு இருக்கு. அப்படியும் எடுத்துக்கலாம். சாமானியேன விசேஷ சமர்த்தனம், விசேஷேன சாமானிய சமர்த்தனம். there is also காரியேன காரிய சமர்த்தனம், காரணேன காரிய சமர்த்தனம். இது வந்து only in காவ்ய பிரகாஷா. அந்த காரியேன காரண சமர்த்தனம் வந்துருத்துனா then we take it as காவ்யலிங்கம் usually because it காவ்யலிங்கம்.
Correct. Okay.
So அது கொஞ்சம் இதுவாயிடும். இது this is more like a lokokti in the sense of samanyam. In general priya vishayeshu iti there is a bahuvachanam there. So priyeshu in general when there is a beloved and you have a beauty, this beauty is sapalam only if he is attracted towards you. இல்லையா? அது it becomes a general. So samanyena vishesha samarthanam எடுத்துக்கோ. Tad abhave kim rupa sampada. When I am not able to attract him, then what is the point in having this beauty? Shailatmaja api पितुः उच्छिरसोऽभिलाषं व्यर्थं समीक्ष्य ललितं वपुरात्मनश्च इति तृतीयसर्गान्ते प्रकृतः भावः अनेन उत्तापितः. So he is trying to connect with the end of third sarga to show where the context is. So Shailatmaja api, even Parvati, Uchchirasaha pituhu abhilasham vyartham samikshya. Even Himavan wanted her to marry Shiva. That abhilasham was also fruitless. It was also a failure here. Vapuhu atmanaha lalitam vapuhu api vyartham samikshya. She also thought her body is also of no use here. Iti purvam tritiya sargante eva drishtam asmabhihi. Prakritaha bhavaha anena uttapitaha. This prakrita bhavam has been, you have to connect this bhava to the earlier third sarga bhava. Otherwise, it might be difficult for us to connect. So he is connecting that.
So anena nama asmin shloke iti.
Asmin anena shlokena.
Okay.
Uttapitah.
So in ninditaha Nininda, by that, it's not so much about because asapalatayaha karanena.
ஒரு கண்டெம்ப்ட்னு எடுத்துக்கலாம்.
What is the point in Ilya? It's not so much that, is it? Or
no. Yeah, அப்ரயோஜனம் வியர்த்தம்ங்கிறதும் இருக்கு. At the same time, what is the result of tatparyam is because it is vyartham, because there is no point in that. She was she looked at her beauty with contempt in a way.
Malinata gives an appropriate term there. Digme rupam yet hara manoharaya nalamiti garhitavati.
Where?
Malinata gives like the proper term for nininda.
Yad hara manohara haranaya na alam iti garhitavati. Dikme rupam. Avladhan. Dikme rupam.
Oh, appadna idu porala avarku appadina.
Appadi edukara.
Oh, okay. So this is about the other possibility I wanted to ask you.
It is not enough to அவர் அட்ராக்ட் பண்றதுக்கு இது போறலன்னா it is not the limitation of the beauty but limitation of beauty in general, not limitation of her beauty personally.
But how are you gathering that?
So it's not like if she was more beautiful, she'd have been successful. It's not that. Beauty as a concept is.
But I'm asking you, what is the pramanam?
ஏன்னா அதுதான் அங்க ரூப அபிமானம் து மனசி ஏவ தஸ்யாஹ ஆசீத். See, everybody kept saying that she was the most beautiful in the world. இல்லையா?
Okay.
அவளுடைய Kālidāsa also described her beauty. I'm sure there would have been n number of people who came and told her, you're so beautiful. And உனக்கு உகந்தவர் சிவன் தான் அப்படின்னு ஒருத்தர் வேற someone came and told her also that. அதுவும் நாரதர் மாதிரி தேவரிஷிகி தத்ர ஆகத்ய the best person for you who should marry you is Shiva அப்படின்னு சொன்னா எங்க அப்புறம் ஒரு மதமதப்பு வராது மைண்ட்ல?
But you're interpreting it like that, like saying beauty itself fails, not just it's not like she had been more beautiful because it's not like you can say the goddess can be more beautiful. The goddess has the epitome of beauty.
No. Yes, obviously. Adla sandehame illa. But I just want to understand by using Nininda, she, putting herself down.
அம்பாளுக்கே அத பண்றச்சே நம்மெல்லாம் ஏமாத்துறோம்னு தோணணும்.
அதான் எனக்கு ஒரே ஷாக்கிங்கா இருக்கு.
அதுதான்.
Also, there was nobody to compare with whom she. If I were as beautiful as her, then it would be like that. So,
there was no comparison at all.
There is
also
no comparison.
But there is no other person in the picture, la. Apro and the comparison appadana arise.
No, she is just a child, so she can think, okay, if I would be as beautiful as her, then it will be enough like that.
But that was not the case. Adudan.
Yeah.
அது அம்பாயாஹ து மனஹ ததா ஆசீத். Because she immediately said, this is not enough for him. Sakshat manmatah eva tatra agatah. And if he was also not able to do the whole job, then it means I am doing something wrong here. There is something else that is needed here. Appadina, she would have come to that conclusion there. And for her, it is Praktana Janma. She is Sati, Purva Janme, the Purva Janmani. So her intellect is something superior than what we can think about. Adnala immediately she would have concluded it needs a different kind of approach. So she would have thought about.
So it's almost like normally you arrive at the truth through virakti. No, typically இல்லையா? But இங்க நினிந்தங்கிற அந்த word பிரயோகிச்சு
first virakti vandurtu bhagna manoratha sati. So her desire was immediately gone there. So there is a vairagya. Vairagyam will always be associated with rupaninda. You're looking vairagyattanude iduve, you're looking at beauty and saying there is nothing to get attracted towards all of this. It is maya.
Correct.
Adum vandurtu and edathila. So the next is tapasa eva tatra she can attain.
Ma'am, a few questions here. Dahata goes with pinakina, right?
Yes.
So it's what does it mean? Dahayata pinakina or dahata pinakina?
Manobhavam dahata, dahan. So one who is burning manmatha. Dahyate adu eppadina whether it is nijanta or not
because he is burning and is not get burned, right? Once I read it first, like I was confused.
Are you thinking it's trich pratyaya? It's not dahatru. It's not dahata, dahataro. It's not like that. It is dahat pratipadikam, which is the shatru. It's the present participle. Shatru.
Yeah.
So dahata would be the one who is burning, right?
But manobhavam is in dvitiya, no?
No, the
one who is burning manmatha, who is reducing someone else to ashes. So wouldn't it be nijanta?
So if I am burning the stick, right? I am the one who is making it, who is lighting it up. You're I mean, the word burn has two meanings. One is in terms of causing something to burn, and one is actually burning something. Both of them, you'll say dahanam.
You will this
is like that karoti kridatu, like that.
Yeah. So agnihi vanam dahati. So then would you say agnihi vanam dahayati? How would you say it? Agnihi vanam dahati kila. So atra shivaha manmatam dahati.
Yes. Bhasmi karoti. Bhasmi karane dah dhatu. Dah bhasmi karane ityasti. So bhasmi karanam, bhasmi karoti means he is making the other person, he is reducing the other person to ashes. It is a sakarmaka.
Also, ma'am, this tritiya will go to bhagnam, right? It's dahata pinakina. Bhagna manoratha should be bhagnam manoratha.
Pinakina bhagnaha manoratha. Yes, it is adik peranna ekadesha anvayi.
So sentences can be formed like that also, like dahata pinakina bhagnam, and then you combine bhagnam with some other thing.
Yes, you can. This is called ekadesha anvayitvam. This is a concept where you're saying that this pinakina only connects with bhagna. It doesn't connect with manoratha. Okay, it's possible.
So it's a Samasthapadam. Usually you can't do that in Samasthapadam, but here there's an akanksha for the bhagna word, so you're able to do it.
Yeah.
If there was no akanksha, you would not be able to do it.
Also,
நீங்க ஏதோ திங் பத்தி கேட்டேல்ல?
அந்த திக் நிறைய பேர் பாத்திருக்கேன். திங் நான் அவ்வளவு பார்த்ததே
மே இருக்குல்ல, மகார யாரோ அனுநாசிக்கோ வர வேண்டாமா?
ஏரஹ அனுநாசிக்கோ வா இதி மா சந்தி விசேஷம்.
சந்தி அது தனியா பிரிச்சு எழுதிருக்கு.
Samaksham there he says it's avyam, right? And he says akshno samipam. Samipam only which goes to upa is what I thought. Do you see an example for the other?
Akshnoho samipam is samava.
No, upa. He says samaksham is
avyayibhav. Upa eva agacchati iti va. Some can also come. Samaksham is an avyayibhava samasa eva. And it is an avyaya, samaksham.
Oh, Sankrishnam is also means upakrishnam then.
Depends on the context where you want to put it.
Okay.
Depends on the context. You first tell me what the context is where you use Sankrishnam, then Bhaktaha Sankrishnam Gacchati, yes, Samipyam Prapnoti. Then, yeah.
Okay.
Whether that kind of a usage is there in, in kavyas or not, we need to look at it and then decide whether you can do that.
Because I thought Samipya just Upa will go, and here he directly says Samu.
This could also be a rudhi word, as in it has just come about like that. Akshnoho samipam samaksham iti.
No, atra samipa is in front. I mean, the samaksham is, that's how we interpret it, right in front of our eyes.
Sannikarshe. Chakshu sannikarsham yada bhavati tatra iti.
Correct.
Wherever there is an indriyartha sannikarsham.
It's not like upa netram anda.
Half the time this is not totally pratyaksham for us. So we have to take it as something where there is an indriya artha samyoga. That is the Appo you can say samaksham.
Yeah, Kalpatruva says akshnoho samipam iti. So it is samipye sam iti.
Idula paakkanum. Ashtadhyayila paatha theriyum. Avyibhava samasatla. तथा समक्षं दहता मनोभवं पिनाकिना भग्नमनोरथा सति निनिन्दरूपं हृदयेन पार्वती प्रियेषु सौभाग्यफला हि चारुता. The meter has changed from the earlier, this is Vamshastha here. Vamshastha da Kirata Arjuniyatla first sarga fulla Vamshastha. It's the same meter. Yeah, 348. The Vyakhyanam is a little terse. We'll stop with this. It's okay.